Bruce Lee pulls into a Chevron gas station on Pacific Coast Highway in Los Angeles at 11:47 p.m. on a Friday night in March 1972. He's driving home from teaching a private lesson, tired but satisfied with the progress his student made. His fuel gauge shows nearly empty. He needs gas. It's a routine stop. Except tonight, this routine stop becomes something nobody, not Bruce, not the 6 other people at the station, not the armed man about to walk through that door, could possibly predict. The Chevron station sits on a quiet stretch of PCH between Malibu and Santa Monica. During the day, it's busy with beach traffic. At midnight, it's nearly deserted, just a fluorescent island of light in the darkness, with the Pacific Ocean invisible beyond the highway but making its presence known. Through the sound of waves and the smell of salt air, Bruce parks at pump number 3, gets out. The night air is cool. He's wearing jeans, a simple black t-shirt, a light jacket. Nothing that identifies him as Bruce Lee, martial artist, actor, philosopher. He's just another tired person getting gas before heading home. Inside the station's small convenience store, there are 6 other people. The clerk behind the counter is Manuel Rodriguez, 52 years old, working the night shift to pay for his daughter's college tuition. He's been doing this job for 8 years, seen everything, usually handles problems with calm experience. At the coffee machine stands Detective Sarah Chen, 34, off-duty LAPD, still in civilian clothes after working a double shift on a homicide case. She's getting coffee before the long drive home, mentally exhausted from 14 hours of interviewing witnesses. Near the snack aisle, there's Robert and Michelle Morrison, a young couple in their 20s, arguing quietly about directions. They're lost, trying to get back to their hotel. Relationship tension adding to navigation stress. By the refrigerated section, there's Jimmy Washington, 19 years old, saving money for trade school by working 2 jobs, buying an energy drink before his overnight warehouse shift starts. And there's elderly Mrs. Eleanor Price, 73, a retired school teacher who can't sleep and drove to the station to buy milk because she's making breakfast for her grandchildren visiting tomorrow morning. 7 people total, including Bruce, who's now walking from his car toward the station entrance. 7 ordinary people having an ordinary late night, about to become 7 hostages in a situation that will test everything Bruce Lee has ever learned about real combat versus theoretical martial arts. Bruce opens the glass door. The bell chimes. He walks toward the coffee machine, planning to grab a cup for the drive home. That's when he sees the man's reflection in the glass door of the refrigerator section. The man entering behind Bruce is Marcus Webb, 28 years old, desperate, dangerous, and holding a .38 caliber revolver. Marcus is a former mechanic who lost his job 6 months ago, lost his apartment 3 months ago, lost his girlfriend 2 months ago, and lost hope last week. Tonight, he lost his last $15 at a poker game. He's got nothing left except rage, desperation, and a gun he bought off the street for $50. Marcus doesn't want to be doing this. He's not a career criminal. He's just someone who made bad decisions, had bad luck, and now finds himself standing in a gas station with a gun, about to make the worst decision of his life. Nobody move. Marcus shouts, waving the gun. His hand is shaking. His voice cracks. This is a robbery. Everyone get away from the doors. Move to the back. The reaction is instant. Mrs. Price gasps, drops her milk container. Michelle Morrison screams. Robert tries to pull her behind him protectively. Jimmy freezes energy drink halfway to his mouth. Manuel raises his hand slowly. Years of robbery training kicking in. Comply. Don't be a hero. Give them what they want. Stay alive. Detective Chen's hand moves instinctively toward where her service weapon would be if she were on duty. But she's off duty. No gun, no backup, no radio. Just her training and experience telling her this is bad. This could go very wrong, very quickly. Bruce stands at the coffee machine, completely still. His back is to Marcus. He's seeing everything through reflections, in the refrigerator glass, in the coffee machine's chrome surface, in the window. He can see Marcus's position, can see the gun, can see that Marcus's hand is shaking so badly he might pull the trigger accidentally, even if he doesn't mean to. Bruce runs a calculation in his head. Distance, 20 feet between him and Marcus. Obstacles, shelving units, other people in the line of fire. Weapon, revolver, probably 6 shots. Marcus's finger is on the trigger, not alongside it. That means he's scared, unpredictable, could fire at any sudden movement. Risk assessment, extremely high. This isn't a movie. This isn't choreographed. Real bullets, real people, real consequences. Bruce makes a decision. He turns around slowly, hands visible, moving to comply with Marcus's orders. Not because he's afraid, because rushing a gunman 20 feet away across a store full of innocent people is suicide, not heroism. Everyone to the back. Marcus shouts again. Now move. They move. Bruce walks with the group toward the back of the store, near the restrooms. 7 people, crowding together, following orders, hoping this will end without violence. Marcus backs toward the front door, locks it, flips the sign to closed, pulls down the front blind. Now they're cut off from the outside world. The glass walls that made the station visible from the highway are now covered. Nobody outside can see what's happening inside. Marcus points the gun at Manuel. Empty the register. All of it. Put it in a bag. Manuel nods, moves slowly toward the register. His movements careful and deliberate. Okay, no problem. I'm getting the money. Nobody needs to get hurt. Marcus is sweating, breathing hard. The gun keeps moving, pointing at different people as his attention jumps around the room. He's terrified. That makes him more dangerous, not less. Detective Chen is analyzing the situation. She's trained in hostage scenarios, knows statistics, knows that armed robberies usually take 90 seconds. Get money, get out. But Marcus locked the door, covered the windows. That's not normal robbery behavior. That's panic behavior. That means he's not thinking clearly, not following a plan. Bruce is watching Marcus with complete focus. He's reading body language, breathing patterns, eye movement. Marcus is right-handed, keeping the gun in his right hand, but his left hand keeps going to his pocket, nervous fidgeting. His weight is on his back, foot. That means he's scared, defensive, not committed to aggression. His eyes keep flicking to the front door. He's worried about police arriving. Manuel fills a plastic bag with money from the register, maybe $400 total. It's not much, not enough to solve Marcus's problems. Definitely not enough to make this worth the risk. Here, Manuel says, holding out the bag. Take it, that's everything. Marcus grabs the bag, looks inside, and his face falls. That's it, $400. That's nothing. That's all we have, Manuel says calmly. Night shift doesn't keep much cash. You got what you came for. Just take it and leave. Nobody's been hurt. You can still walk away. But Marcus isn't walking away. He's realizing that $400 doesn't solve anything. Doesn't get his life back. Doesn't undo the last 6 months of failure. He's standing in a gas station with a gun, having committed armed robbery for $400 that won't even cover a week's rent. This is bullshit, Marcus yells, waving the gun again. $400. I risked everything for $400. The gun sweeps across the hostages. Everyone flinches. This is the moment Detective Chen recognizes, the moment when a robbery becomes something worse, when the criminal realizes the risk isn't worth the reward and panic sets in. Mrs. Price starts crying quietly. Michelle is hyperventilating. Robert is holding her, whispering that it'll be okay, but his voice betrays his fear. Jimmy is praying silently, eyes closed. Manuel is standing very still, hands raised, trying not to trigger Marcus. Bruce steps forward slightly, just 6 inches, enough to draw Marcus's attention away from the others. Hey, Bruce says, his voice calm, conversational, like he's talking to a friend. Look at me. Marcus swings the gun toward Bruce. Don't move, I'll shoot you. I'm not moving, Bruce says, and he isn't. He's standing completely still now, hands visible, posture non-threatening. I just want to talk to you for a second. I don't want to talk. I want. Marcus stops, not even sure what he wants anymore. What's your name? Bruce asks. The question surprises Marcus. What's your name? What should I call you? Why does it matter? Because I don't want to call you guy with the gun. You're a person. You have a name. What is it? Marcus hesitates, then says, Marcus. Marcus, Bruce repeats, like he's memorizing it. Okay, Marcus. My name is Bruce. Can I ask you something? What? Did you come here planning to hurt anyone? Marcus looks confused by the question. No, I need money. I'm not a bad person. I just need money. I believe you, Bruce says, and his tone suggests he actually does. You're not a bad person. Bad people don't shake like that when they hold guns. Bad people don't look as scared as you do right now. You're just someone in a bad situation who made a desperate choice. Detective Chen realizes what Bruce is doing, establishing rapport, humanizing both sides, de-escalating through conversation. It's textbook hostage negotiation. But most people don't know these techniques. Who is this guy? Marcus's gun hand lowers slightly, just an inch or two. You don't understand. I've lost everything. My job, my place, my girl, everything. I've got nothing left. So you came here to get something, Bruce says. But Marcus, you know $400 doesn't fix any of that, right? I know, Marcus shouts, raising the gun again. I know that, but I don't know what else to do. I get that, Bruce says. When you've got nothing left, it feels like you have to do something, anything, even if it's wrong, just to prove you're still making choices, still have some control. Marcus stares at Bruce. How do you know that? Because I've been desperate before. Different circumstances, but same feeling. That feeling like the walls are closing in, and you're drowning, and you'll do anything just to breathe again. This is working. Marcus is listening. The gun is lowering again. Detective Chen stays silent, recognizing Bruce has established connection. Don't interrupt. Let it happen. But here's the thing, Marcus. Bruce continues. Right now, you haven't actually hurt anyone. You scared people. You took some money, but you haven't hurt anyone. That means you can still walk back from this. You can still make a different choice. It's too late, Marcus says, but his voice has less conviction now. It's not too late, Bruce says firmly. Look around this room. 7 people. Mrs. Price over there. He gestures toward the elderly woman. She's probably someone's grandmother. That young couple, they're just lost, trying to find their hotel. The guy behind the counter, he's just trying to pay for his daughter's college. That kid with the energy drink, he's working 2 jobs to save for trade school. We're all just people. Marcus, just like you. None of us are your enemy. Marcus's eyes are wet now. I don't want to be doing this. Then don't, Bruce says simply. Just put the gun down. Walk away. You've got $400. Take it. Leave. Go somewhere else. Start over. It's not too late to make a different choice. The cops will find me. Maybe, Bruce acknowledges. But if you hurt someone, they'll definitely find you. And then you're not just desperate, you're dangerous. And the system treats dangerous people very differently than it treats desperate people. Detective Chen is impressed. This civilian is doing better negotiation than some trained officers she's worked with. He's validating Marcus's feelings while redirecting his choices. He's offering a path out without making it sound like surrender. Marcus's gun hand is shaking worse now. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do, Bruce says gently. You know the right thing to do. You knew it when you walked in here. You're not a killer, Marcus. You're just someone who ran out of options and made a scared choice. But you don't have to keep making scared choices. Put the gun down. Walk away. Give yourself a chance at something better than this. For a long moment, nothing happens. 7 hostages hold their breath. Marcus stands there, gun wavering, tears running down his face, at the crossroads of the worst night of his life. Then Marcus's arm drops. The gun points at the floor. His whole body sags. I'm so tired, he whispers. I know. Bruce says, me too. We're all tired. Let's end this. Put the gun on the counter. Step back. Let everyone leave. Then we can figure out what comes next. Marcus walks slowly to the counter, sets the gun down, steps back. His hands are empty now. He's just a tired, desperate man who came very close to doing something unforgivable, but chose differently at the last moment. Detective Chen immediately moves to secure the gun, identifying herself. LAPD, Marcus, I need you to put your hands behind your head. Do it slowly. Nobody's going to hurt you. Marcus complies. The fight has gone out of him completely. Bruce helps Mrs. Price to a chair. She's shaking badly. It's over, he tells her gently. You're safe now. Robert and Michelle hold each other. Jimmy is still processing what just happened. Manuel is already on the phone with 911, reporting that the situation is resolved. Detective Chen handcuffs Marcus, reads him his rights, then looks at Bruce. That was impressive negotiation. You have training. Just martial arts, Bruce says. But real martial arts isn't about fighting. It's about understanding people, understanding conflict, finding ways to resolve situations without violence when possible. What's your name? Chen asks. Bruce Lee. Chen's eyes widen with recognition. The Bruce Lee, from the movies. I prefer the martial artist Bruce Lee, he says with a slight smile. The movies are just one thing I do. Within minutes, LAPD units arrive. Paramedics check everyone. Nobody is physically injured, emotionally shaken, but safe. Marcus is taken into custody. He doesn't resist, just looks exhausted. As Bruce is giving his statement to the responding officers, Mrs. Price approaches him. Young man, she says, her voice still shaky but determined. You saved our lives tonight. I didn't save anyone, Bruce says. Marcus saved himself by making the right choice. But you helped him make that choice, she insists. You talked to him like he was human, like he mattered, not like a monster. Detective Chen overhears this. After Mrs. Price walks away, she says to Bruce, she's right, you de-escalated a potentially deadly situation without throwing a single punch. That's more impressive than any fight scene I've ever watched. Fighting is easy, Bruce says. Any fool can throw a punch. Preventing the fight, that's the real skill. That's what martial arts should teach. Not how to hurt people, but how to understand them well enough that hurting them becomes unnecessary. The investigation later reveals Marcus Webb had no criminal record before that night. He was a skilled mechanic who fell into a series of bad breaks. The public defender gets him a deal rehabilitation program instead of maximum prison time. Bruce Lee writes a letter to the judge supporting leniency, explaining what he witnessed, not a dangerous criminal, but a desperate person who pulled back from the edge when given a path out. 3 years later, Marcus completes his rehabilitation program, gets certified in automotive repair, opens a small shop in Long Beach. He names it Second Chance Auto Repair. On the wall of his office hangs a newspaper clipping about the gas station incident with a personal note. The night I learned that strength isn't about power, it's about choosing not to use it. Thank you, Bruce Lee. The 6 other hostages that night all process the experience differently. Mrs. Price tells her grandchildren about the man who stopped a robbery with words instead of fists. Detective Chen includes the incident in her training lectures about non-violent de-escalation. The Morrison couple credits the experience with teaching them that real problems like getting lost aren't worth fighting over. Jimmy Washington becomes a youth counselor working with at-risk kids, always telling them about the night he witnessed the power of choosing differently. And Bruce Lee, he rarely talks about the incident publicly. When students ask him about real-world applications of martial arts, he sometimes mentions it obliquely. The most important fight is the one you prevent. The most important victory is when everyone walks away better than they arrived. But privately, in his personal journal, Bruce writes about March 1972 and the gas station. Tonight I learned that all my years of training in combat were preparation for a moment where combat wasn't the answer. Understanding human nature, recognizing desperation, offering dignity instead of dominance. These are martial arts too, perhaps the highest form. Not how to destroy an opponent, but how to help them stop being your opponent. Nobody saw it coming. Not the hostages who expected violence. Not Marcus who expected to commit robbery and leave. Not the police who responded expecting a crime scene. And certainly not Bruce Lee, who stopped for gas expecting a routine moment and instead found himself in a situation that proved his philosophy. That real mastery isn't about winning fights, it's about making fighting unnecessary. 7 people walked into that gas station as strangers. They left having witnessed something extraordinary, proof that strength without wisdom is just violence. But wisdom with strength can save lives without taking them. The greatest fight Bruce Lee never fought wasn't in a movie or a tournament or a demonstration. It was in a gas station at midnight, when an armed man held 7 people hostage, and Bruce Lee defeated him with understanding instead of action, with words instead of fists, with philosophy instead of technique. Nobody saw it coming, but everyone there remembered it forever.